Good morning, my friends. And so we're coming around to the close of this series of thoughts and suggestions about how and in what ways to move into the next chapter of life as it opens, politically, personally, and with less danger coming from COVID. So we have more freedom to move. Not yet, but soon, and definitely this year. Movement is a series of steps, which is why this is broken down this way. And they build upon one another, but at the same time, they're not linear. So you'll find as you walk through these steps, if you use them, that you'll get to one, say, getting unstuck. And then you'll find that you are stuck again, and that it has to do with unforgiveness. And so you might walk 2 steps back to compassion and forgiveness. Forgiveness being the ultimate expression of compassion, and forgiveness including yourself. And as you do that, and perfectionism or fear begins to grow less, then you might move forward to the next step of skillful courage. Now that you have accepted more of your vulnerability and are willing to honor it by learning how to navigate through the middle path and make choices and develop skills. And then we are back at getting unstuck. And after walking through these several steps, you will again be more ready to transform roadblocks into opportunities with compassion and courage. That's how it works. In the last meditation, we thought about perpetual mindfulness, ongoing, present moment awareness, with the suggestion that you find a morning or a day where you can practice mindfulness hour by hour, minute by minute, event and action at a time. And I hope you will find time to bring that into your practice, because the power of it is remarkable. For me, I've gotten to the point where I rarely miss anything that's happening right here and right now. Sometimes, but not often. So let us be seated and begin to work with the second half of perpetual mindfulness. Noticing the support underneath of you, with gratitude that this steadiness is here for you right here and right now, from the inside out with your mindfulness practice, and from the outside in a world in the form of a chair that is currently supporting you, as are all the things that are around you, either supporting you or teaching you something. This is a useful perspective to hold on to, rather than resistance. So allow your mind to go to your breathing, and be aware of how it gently moves. Low in your belly. Don't try to change it in any way. Just notice how it moves. In breath, out breath. If there's any place in your body or your mind that you need to direct that breath so you can clear some of the tension in that space, take these moments to do that now with a full deep breath and a slow out breath. The second part of perpetual mindfulness is really about looking forward and having some sense of a vision, or at least a question that will begin to guide you, maybe even help you to open to new ways of going about living your life. I want to read you part of a poem by Mary Oliver that speaks to just this. Please just listen and see what stands out to you. And when you notice what stands out to you, hold on to that phrase or that word or that idea and breathe with it. Here's Mary Oliver. Who made this grasshopper? I mean, the one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating out of my hand, who was moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who was gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? So what stood out to you? And how are you feeling about this poem and its invitation? And the line, which is the one that inspires me, that says, tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Which reminds me of how impermanent everything, every breath, every movement, every person, every attitude, every pain, every resistance, every anger passes, that everything is impermanent, and reminds me to live right here and right now. It reminds me that now is truly what we have. It is not so much about loss as it is about staying present with every fiber of your being to what is happening right now. And from that place, and from the experience of this period of time that has been everything chaotic, asking yourself, what will I do with my one wild and precious life now? What touches my heart now? How am I going to go forward and decide how to spend or invest the hours that I have, knowing that they are ultimately impermanent and come to an end? What projects do I want to focus on? And what people do I most want to spend time with? In what ways do I want to take care of myself? Ones that I have skill with, and ways that I don't as of yet know how to do, but I can learn. Allow an image or a vision to come up into your mind, envisioning yourself doing and being in ways that are different and ways that are familiar, but they are free choices made out of mindfulness and awareness, compassion, courage, transformation, and meaning. This may sound huge, so be sure to start with the very smallest thing that comes to mind. As always, what will you do with your one wild and precious life? What desires are you longing to express that perhaps you found in this time of separation? And are you willing to step forward and embrace them? Because if not now, then when? Mindful awareness, reclaiming your courage, and taking the next small step towards the freedom of opening your heart and following it to spend your time with what is most precious to you, now that everything familiar may have been cleared away. How do you want to spend your time in your one wild and precious life? Be mindful and act consciously. Going out to think about this today, my friends, and take one small action. Namaste. Amen.